If you're ready to unlock a new level of income and finally make your car work for you instead of against you, then pay close attention. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the proven system for listing your car on Turo, maximizing your earnings, and creating a reliable stream of passive income. This isn't about having a few extra dollars in your pocket. It's about taking control of your finances and building a life with freedom. Stay tuned. By the end of this video, you won't just know how to list your car on Turo, but you will have a clear roadmap to transform your vehicle into a powerful asset. You will gain the confidence to take action, optimize your listings for maximum profitability, and build a sustainable income stream that supports your goals. This is more than about renting a vehicle. This is about having your life designed by purpose, by intention, by living a life of abundance, by having a way to live your life on your own terms, not trading your time in to just pay your bills, but taking your time back, earning it back the way that you want to do it. So if you're serious about this, make sure you stay tuned. We're about to get knee deep in it. Are you new to the channel? Are you new to Turo? Well, good news is that you can join this channel by hitting the subscribe button. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button so that way you don't miss any of my episodes that I drop. I tend to drop weekly. I'm trying to increase that more often because people are talking about the things that they want to have happen, but they don't know how to get there. And this is what this show's about. We're here to help people get in the right direction. So let's get right into it. So in this video, we already talked about some of the things we're going to talk about. Additionally, we're going to talk about how to create an attractive listing, effective listings to be exact. We're going to talk about how to maximize your earnings on Turo, how to protect your investment, and how to handle the insurance, and what you need to know about Turo's policies and procedures. And finally, how to become a successful Turo host and build a thriving car empire. So the first thing I do want to say is that you want to make sure that if you do anything on Turo, that you understand the terms and conditions. Now, we already talked about on other channels and other videos about my book starting out on Turo. This book walks you right through it. So this book is right here that you can go ahead and check it out, but this is going to walk you through the whole guys. But when we're looking at this, when we're looking at what we got to do, there's some things that we wouldn't take away. The key points is first off, before you start anything, you want to make sure that your car is eligible to be on Turo. Now, what does that mean, Luke? What does that mean? Eligibility breakdowns here that you have to pay attention when you're listing your vehicle on Turo. Before you even think about going buying a car or going out the street and say, I'm gonna go get that ride and do all those crazy things, you gotta understand this. There's an age requirement, there's a mileage limit, there's condition standards, there's registration and location and additional requirements. Let's break those down. Age requirement. Your vehicle has to be 12 years old or newer. So you can't have something that's like, hey, I got my 2010 vehicle. It's not going to work, guys. You want to make sure you stay in range because a lot of people get in trouble. Now, there are exceptions when we're looking at the possibility of plastic cars, specialty cars. And when they talking about these cars, they're talking about cars that are like probably over 20 years old to be exact, right? And most of y'all don't have cars over 20 years old. And when they look at this, they're talking about like exotic cars, right? They're looking at those classic cars, the classic Challenger or classic Camaro, things like that. Not your, hey, I got my Ford Taurus. They're not going to do that, guys. And make it make sense because at the end of the day, your guests are wanting to drive something that they like. If you got an old Taurus out there, you got an old Corolla out there, and it doesn't have the wow wow going on with it, who's going to rent that? No one's going to rent that. Mileage limit. Mileage limit is pretty straightforward. 130,000 miles or less. Over 30,000 miles requires an inspection in excellent condition. So even if you do have a vehicle that's over 1,000, over 130,000, you don't want it to be where it's like, hey, it's holding on its last leg, it's still good. It's not gonna fly. They're gonna scrutinize this. Now, condition standards. Excellent mechanical and cosmetic conditions. It's got to be good. No open safety recalls. I talked about that in the previous videos that I've done where it almost got messed up by having a vehicle that had an open recall that they have no solution to. Clean title. Again, it has to be a clean title. It cannot be a salvage title. It cannot be a rebuilt title. You cannot have these things on the platform. And your vehicle must not have been declared a total loss. The reason why they put that after a lot of people have tried Turo in the past or tried other peer-to-peer rental companies and it comes back and they get busted. Registration and location. Registered in the US. Legally registered and insured. Finally, the additional requirements. It must have four wheels, not three, guys. Four wheels, max capacity is 8 seats. So don't bring a school bus. Don't bring the school bus over here saying, hey, I'm good, right? That ain't gonna fly, guys. Max capacity's 8. They're not renting out motorcycles at this time. They're not doing ATVs. They're not doing RVs. They're not doing jet skis. They're not doing hang gliders. They're not doing private planes. They're not doing any of that stuff right there. So be mindful of these things right here. Now looking at creating your listings. The main thing that you want to have is high quality photos. A lot of people take photos and they don't really look at what type of resolution that they have, and they wonder why people are not looking at the vehicle with more open eyes. Now, I'm not saying you got to go get a professional photographer to take photos of a vehicle. You can use your basic smartphone, but you want to make sure it's got a good screen, meaning that when you take a photo, ain't a bunch of scratches on the lens. You want to make sure that when you have your photos taken there in good daylight, you want to have a background scene. You don't want to take your photos at Walmart. Please do not take it at the Walmart parking lot where all the other cars. You don't want to have any cars, and the only focus needs to be is your vehicle. This is your avatar here. You want to write a detailed, accurate description of your vehicle. And where do you go for that? I recommend going to Gemini, going to ChatGPT, looking at what other people do and saying, hey, I want to do something similar, and literally tell ChatGPT to make it similar for you. You need to also set your price when you're starting out at a competitive rate. Don't go for the high, because first off, you're not an all-star host. You're not a power host. No one knows who you are. You have no ratings. You got these things going against you. What you need to do is take that away from your competitor. You don't want to go too low. I'm not saying set your price by $20 off or $30 off, but you want to have it where it's like at a nice, comfortable price that complements your description, that basically stands out away from your competitors, because you will have competitors and you know what they're listing. Now, how you know what they're listing? You get Turex. Turex is down in the description below, but it basically lays out what is going on in your region by just using Turo and using a spreadsheet, and it walks you through the whole process of who's selling out here, who's renting their cars out, how often they're renting out, what their price are, what the URL is on the description. So that's how you know. Going on with that is the pricing strategies. You want to consider how you want to do your pricing strategy. Again, Turex. Now, Turo does offer this new feature called dynamic pricing to adjust the demand fluctuations, but be cautious with it. And why I say that is that they may tell you to set it so high that, okay, you're not going to stand a chance anyone renting your car if you're brand new, and you don't want it to go too low where you're just neglecting your maintenance, because it's going to have to be a give and take. That's why I say go with Turex 100% of the time, because it's literally telling you real data of who's renting what out in your area and seeing what the prices that they're renting for. So that way you can dive in and figure out, can I match them? Can I go under, or do I stay where I'm at? You want to know that. Also offering discounts. That was the first thing I did when I started out on Turo. I offered discounts. I still offer discounts at this day. And some people don't do discounts. They just lower it at a lower price. But I feel like if a customer doesn't see something flashing to them, say, hey, this is marked down, they're not going to pick up on it. Some people will pick up on it, but others won't. They might be like, okay, next. But when they see slashes, like, hey, it was this and now it's that, that's where it registers. You gotta understand the psychology of your clients, of your guests. You want to also, again, we already talked about this, research what your other competitors are doing. So if you got a Nissan Sentra, You want to look at what type of Nissan Sentra out there. I'm not just talking about the same year as yours. You want to look at below and above and see what they're offering and see if it makes sense. See what they're doing. See who is the top dog of them all and see what you can do to cut them down a few notches. That's what I would do. And that's what I actually did when I started out. Communication is key. Communication with your renters is key. What does that mean, Luke? What I'm talking about is that you want to make sure that when you're talking to your guests, that you make sure you control the tempo of that communication. And that doesn't mean that you just send them a text and then you call them and this and that. You make sure all the stuff is conveyed in the Turo Messenger app. You make sure that your guest downloads the Turo Messenger app. You make it known for them that, hey, if you want to talk to me, you got to talk to me in the Turo Messenger app. Reason being is that if something goes wrong with your vehicle, or they're saying they're going to do this or do that, or something happens in the conversation where they can be belligerent, or say they did something in the car, for example, smoked in the car. I saw that one today. You have it documented. Turo won't go off a text message per se. They definitely ain't gonna go off no phone call. That's he said, she said. You don't want to be in that situation. You want to make sure you stay clear with what you're saying, concise, and stay professional. There are going to be times that you will deal with guests who will sit there and tell you that they're going to do this and do that, blah, blah, and then they say something crazy about your car, knowing there's nothing wrong with your car. Just remember, guests are going to be looking for ways to get further discounts. I had a guy tell me that my lights didn't work. When I showed him that, hey, did you turn on the lights? You get what I'm saying? So it's going to happen like that. You also want to make sure that once you get your vehicle back, or before you take it on a trip, you get photos. You want to document everything. Make sure the car's topped off clean, smooth, no issues, no reason for them to say, I want to return the vehicle back. Will it happen? It can happen. How to avoid it is make sure you stay vigilant on your timelines with your vehicle, meaning when's the time to check in the car? When is it time to get the car for maintenance? All those things. And that's also provided in starting out on Turo. Book listing down below. Additionally, you want to make sure that the car is prepared and maintenance. We already just falling in. This is just flowing through, guys. What I would tell you is this: that when you have your car listed, right, and it's looking good, that's what they expect to get. Don't give them a pretty picture, then it comes out this car is not clean, it's not being maintained, it's having all these issues. You don't want to do that. The car has to remain in good working order. And with older cars, you definitely have to stay on top of the maintenance. New cars is a little bit more forgiving, it's a give or take. The older cars, you definitely got to stay on top of the maintenance. What's that mean? Tire rotation, oil changes, any preventive maintenance such as spark plugs, changing the fluids, anything that you gotta do, brakes or whatnot, you want to definitely take care of that. Any mechanical issues that was listed from previous trips need to be addressed. So when guests sees this, other guests, hey, I don't know if I want to rent this car. You already got it stated out. The vehicle's taken care of. Whether you got to go through inspection to see everything's okay based off what previous runners have said, or you just actually just doing the work without anyone telling you anything. And on top of that, include amenities. What does that mean? Amenities basically is, hey, let me throw on a free car charger. Hey, let me let them know about the tow pass that I have so they can get discount tows. Not getting free tows, but discount tows. Hey, I throw in free gas if you rent for a week. Hey, we throw in a baby carriage if you're serious about it. And the list goes on. You can do these things. This is what make people want to rent with you because you're more accommodating. You want to make sure that people like those things and they're not having an issue. Understand the insurance and protection plan. Understand what Turo's protection plans. There's another video that I dropped about that where you can look into details of what the protection plans suit you. For me, I use the 75 plan. I think that's the best of both worlds. You can go where you don't want to have a protection plan, where you want to have the maximum protection plan. But understand this, depending on what you choose, Turo may take none, or Turo may take a lot. It depends on how you feel about you doing all this work and they just collecting the check at the end of the day. Not knocking Turo, but if you've been busting your butt humping all these cars and whatnot, you may not want to go for 90%. But if you're risk averse, meaning that I don't feel comfortable have my car be messed up and now have no car to keep function, then you may want to go for that. Be aware, though, be aware of the limitation and exclusions of what the coverage is, and understand what steps that you need to take to minimize the risk of damage and death, aka GPS system, aka making sure you don't have your car stationed in a bad area, meaning that you shouldn't have your car dropped off in a bad area for people to pick up, because more than likely they're not going to pick up a car in a bad neighborhood. I'm telling you that now, living in Charlotte, North Carolina, having my car stationed in Charlotte, North Carolina. So before we do anything else, hey, are you ready to start out with Turo, guys? I know this is short and cut right here. You want to get more bookings? How about this? If you feel like you're up on the fence, you are welcome to give me a free call. There's a link down below for you to absolutely get a free consultation call, and we could talk about what you can do. Let me know down below what you want to do here. Click on the link and get a free call. Now, let's talk about delivery. One of the things to optimize your list the best way is to offer delivery options. Now, delivery does not have to just be the airport. You may be welcome to drive the car up to so many miles to drop off a vehicle for a small fee. And you got to take in consideration, okay, how do I get there? Am I going to have someone do the buddy system with me? Am I going to use an Uber to get myself back to where I need to be at? What's it going to be more convenient for you? Because at the end of the day, a customer can always take an Uber to your vehicle. You may offer that too as a backslide right there, backslide play, I call it. Meaning that if someone wanted to rent your car out and they're kind of on the fence, you can mention to them that you would do a reimbursement of the Uber from the airport to your location or within 10 miles or whatever distance that you want to have. And they may be like, wow, this person is going to reimburse me. I do that. I'd rather work with this guy than other people charging me at the airport or whatnot. And you just got to think about, because if you know this person is going to book your vehicle, and you can state the stipulations, if you book the vehicle for 2 weeks or longer, I am going to throw in free gas. I'm going to throw in free pickup and drop off. So if you're coming from the airport, I can pick you up. I can drop you off via Uber. You can do all those things and make it happen. And people are going to love you for it. I'm telling you, I've done this before and people went insane. That's why we stay booked. We stay constantly getting cars in and out the door. Now, I do want to conclude with this, guys, with that policy. You got to be clear. You got to understand that some guests, whoever used Turo, heard something from another person, heard something from another person. You want to be clear on those instructions on how you're going to do your pickup and drop offs for your guests, meaning that if you're going to drop off a vehicle or you're going to have the guests be picked up by Uber or Lyft on your dime to be dropped off to your location. The choice is yours, but you want to make sure the policy's laid out and make sure you don't go against the policy of Turo. When a customer has a streamlined experience, they're not going to sit there and complain. They're just going to sit there and enjoy. You're going to have customers who like to complain about anything, but 9 times out of 10, if you're doing it the right way, you're not going to have issues. You're not going to have repeat issues. The final thing I want to add in here is the host responsibilities. You have to accurately represent your vehicle. If your vehicle's messed up, you need to update your pictures if you're not going to fix that damage or whatnot. You need to be on time with your vehicles. That don't mean if your guests say I want the vehicle at 7 o'clock p.m., you give it to them at 7:15 because you late. That's why we have remote drop-offs. We have remote entry, remote lock boxes, things of that sort. Don't have your guests waiting. The moment you do that, they're gonna find other things wrong. They're gonna say, "Well, damn, they late on this. Well, why is the car got this funny smell? Why is this car don't turn? It seems like something's wrong." And then they hit your reviews, and you do not want them to hit your reviews over knick-knack stuff. You want to maintain a safe and clean vehicle. Again, I can't stress that enough. A safe and clean vehicle at all times, before and after. You don't let the vehicle sit around after the trip is over, because when I started off, I let the vehicle just sit there and then it was too late. We're rushing. So I had to change as soon as the car got back. Within a 12-hour slot, we would have someone, one of my teammates, go out. get the car clean, have it stationed, even though it may not have a booking right now, but we'd rather have it ready than not have it ready. And make sure you follow up with Turo's terms and services. Do not try to do some side deals. I've seen people get banned off of the platform doing side deals, saying, well, you book on my stuff directly, you don't deal with Turo, and you're talking in a chat group that Turo's monitoring, they're gonna get you, they'll ban you. So don't be that type of person. Don't get caught up in that nonsense. But before we go anywhere else, I have something right here for you.
Now available, my book, Starting Out on Turo, a comprehensive beginner's guide if you're brand new to Turo and want a complete A to Z road book. My book, Starting Out on Turo, is essential. Some of the things you're going to avoid: costly mistakes. Learn the common pitfalls new hosts learn every day, and you can avoid them, saving time and money, all in this book. Fast track your success. I packed years of experience into this book to help you launch your Turo business quickly and efficiently. Bonus resources and templates. This book also includes exclusive resources and templates to streamline your operations to maximize your profits. Get this book today. You can get started on Turo down in the link down below in the description. Ready to take your Turo host to the next level? Sign up for a Car Share Genius Masterclass. Learn the advanced strategies to maximize your earnings and minimize hassle. Now, this is going to take you to the next level. We're talking about seriously scaling your Turo business and achieving financial freedom. I invite you to join my Car Share Genius Masterclass. Beyond the basics, while the book gives you a strong foundation, the masterclass dives deeper into advanced strategies for optimizing your listings, automating your operations, and building a profitable fleet. Community support is there. You also gain access to a exclusive community of Turo hosts, networking, getting support, and accelerate your growth. Limited offer today. You got to jump on this today. This is very important. You got to jump on it because, guys, this is not going to stay around. Prices are already jumped up previously last quarter. You need to enroll right now. If you're serious about doing something, do something today by enrolling in Car Share Genius Masterclass and transform your Turo business today.
All right, guys. I hope that you enjoy. And again, guys, I hope that you do what I told you at the very beginning. And you know what that was? Make sure you subscribe. If you feel like this resonated with you, give us some thumbs up. Make sure that you comment down below. I do have a question I want to end off with. So now that you know about listing your vehicle on Turo and you know what to do, you know how to get extra income by design, you do it on attention, you do it purposely. What is the thing that you want to do with this money? So when you start getting all this money, are you looking to pay off debt? Are you looking to save for your dream? Or are you looking to invest in your future? Let us know down below because that's a real question. You know, that's the human thing. I don't see people want to work for the rest of their life till they die. I think that's crazy. But like, what's your game plan to get out of Turo while you're on the platform? Drop your comments down below. Don't forget to check out Car Share Genius and starting on Turo. All down in the description down below, guys. Make sure you check that out. Until then, guys, I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace out.